There is so much they don't tell you about pregnancy, from getting pregnant and how it's not actually that easy, that the anxiety that will come when losing your pregnancy and or fearing you will lose your pregnancy. And then of course, as women who we are taught to make smaller versions of ourselves, to pretty much diet culture takes over our whole life from the ages of 12 to into our 20s. And now this small pocket of time where we are supposed to gain weight and love it, love every pound, love every inch, and act like it's no big deal, even though society and diet culture has been putting into us to, always need a reason to eat what you want. Always make sure to be paying attention to what you eat. Always make sure to be trying to be tight, fit, and right. So let's talk about it. I am making this video not only for my future self, but my current self and all the other mamas out there who don't feel like they recognize their bodies. And for this big old bump and the cellulite that's now coming in that we never had, we gotta talk about it. How crazy is that? How crazy is that bump? And I have never in my life had like cellulite like that, but I've also never had like a big butt like that either. I'm kind of about it. But hello, my sweet friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hello, I am MarissaLace. Talk about all things self-love, wellness, spirituality, and tapping into your inner goddess to create your dream life. I have an online crystal shop. I create self-love and manifesting digital courses all about, again, tapping into your inner goddess and creating your dream life. And in this video, I am talking about weight gain. I am talking about loving your body and loving yourself through the pregnancy journey. I feel like not enough people talk about how hard it can be to see your body physically change so drastically in a matter of such a short amount of time. One of the things that I have really just been sitting with during pregnancy is the love and appreciation for my body. But that doesn't mean that I don't have hard days. That doesn't mean that seeing the extra cellulite on my body feels very odd. And living in the world that we do, especially as millennial women, we have really grown up in a culture, in a society of diet culture. We saw the toxic diet culture of the early 2000s. We all remember Jessica Simpson being called so fat, and so like people ripping her apart. One pocket of time in our life where we are meant to gain weight, we are meant to take on a whole new life within our physical body. We are meant to just embrace and love every moment of it. Even though our whole lives we have been pretty much conditioned and taught and trained to want to be a smaller version of ourselves, wanting to be and lose weight. So I really wanted to talk about it because I think it's really important. I think that it is a beautiful lesson in not only loving ourselves and loving our body, but being very present with our body and taking care of ourselves. Looking at my body before pregnancy and looking at my body now is quite a different situation, is quite a different scenario. And I am someone who I will 100% listen to my body. If I have cravings, I will try them. If I have cravings, I will eat them. But also I'm someone who I will show up and make sure to be nourishing my baby, nourishing my body. And what that looks like and what that means is that in the morning, I pretty much always have a green juice, always have a green smoothie, make sure I'm getting lots of water, make sure I'm getting lots of fruits and vegetables throughout my day, but also knowing that I can balance that out and I can have whatever I choose. I think that there's also this weird stigma, there's this weird, what's that word? What's that saying of like, oh, you're eating for two? We're not actually eating for two. A better way to look at it is we are nourishing for two. We are needing the nutrients for two. I think a lot of us really fall into this trap of being in this diet mentality our whole life, and so then the moment that we feel like we have quote unquote permission to gain weight, we have permission that this is the one time in our life we're kind of allowed to eat whatever we want, we're allowed to gain weight. A lot of us can almost fall into this trap of really just like going overboard, and going overboard in the sense of then just trying to like eat for two. And that's one of the things that my doctor wanted to tell me, like pretty much which made it a really good point to tell me that you're not eating for 2. So in the first trimester, you know, I think it's something like your diet pretty much stays the same. Second trimester, you're having maybe 100 to 300 calories more. And then your third trimester, you're having like another meal on top of what you're already having. So, you know, just really paying attention to how we're treating our body and making sure that we are not letting the fear and letting this like society's view of us gaining weight get to us. I personally have really just been struggling with not feeling like my typical self, in the sense of not having the energy that I once had. I currently have gained, I think, close to 30 pounds during my pregnancy. I'm at the end of my pregnancy, but still, I still have like, you know, 9 to 10 weeks to go. So maybe that'll be another 8 to 9 pounds. Maybe that'll be another 12 pounds, whatever it's going to be. But trusting my body and knowing that my body is gaining what it needs to carry this baby, to nourish the baby. And my job is simply to focus on nourishing myself and taking care of this physical vessel with no judgment, with no shame. But that doesn't mean that I don't have hard moments. In these moments of feeling like even the walks that I used to do, of going like walking at an incline and feeling like, what the heck, like my body can no longer do this, like what is going on? Or even trying to carry things, like I live in a 2-story house, trying to carry all the groceries up the stairs at once and being like, holy shit. Like, when did this get hard? And I've still been working out almost every day. I go swimming every day. I go on walks every day. Some sort of movement every single day, just as a way of moving energy through my body. So just a raw and real talk with you guys of, it's not always easy, but I know it's going to be worth it. It's not always easy, but I know it's going to be worth it. And it's important to me, what's been on the forefront of my mind, what's important to me is to make sure that I am taking care of my body now, for during labor, and for during postpartum. And I don't mean postpartum for the quote-unquote snap back, because I don't believe any woman needs to snap back quickly. I don't believe we're trying to get our bodies to what they were before pregnancy. Our body is in a total new state. Like, never before has my body made another human. And literally, mamas, I want you to think about it this way. Our bodies literally created this human. Like, her bones, her organs, our bodies effing made that. And like, to not see that and like just celebrate the out of that and like be so excited. Like, I cannot help but be in awe of my body most days. To know that my body is creating this human, giving her exactly what she needs, and truly just making sure that I am showing up for that and focusing on that energy of whatever I'm eating is what baby's eating, and baby is taking whatever nutrients she needs. And that's been a really big and important mental shift for me of like, okay, maybe I can't do the workouts I once did. Maybe I can't go on the long walks I once did. Maybe I can't even go up the stairs as many times as I once did, now that I'm further along in my pregnancy. But it's also owning and honoring of like, but I've also never made a human before. And like, that's pretty fucking cool. So I have no desire in my heart or my body or my soul to snap back to what I was before, but taking this body that has now created a life and honoring that body, honoring this new chapter and this new version of us. So I wanted to make this video, and I just want to talk about this because it is hard some days, but I think it's important to remember that as women, as, you know, people who are creating life in their bodies, like, that is worth celebrating and that is worth worshiping just as much as we used to worship wanting ab lines and wanting to fit into a size 2 or a size 6, whatever it may be. And knowing and loving our bodies enough now to know that you don't need to try and be smaller. You don't need to try and be what you were before. You don't even need to focus on what your body was doing before, and kind of just own and honor and really honor the shit out of where you are now. And that's just kind of been on my heart, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And it is so easy to like, your brain will automatically, when you're like either at the doctor and weighing yourself, or I weigh myself at home like a couple times a week just to check in where I'm at, honestly, because I'm like so constipated all the time. I'm like, how much are we holding in here of that? But truly, like it's easy for your brain to go to this place of, oh, I need to cut back then, or oh, I need to go on, like, do more workouts then. But that's not the case when you're pregnant. And pregnancy has been such a beautiful situation for me to learn how to surrender, and surrender even in the fact of, I talked about this before, of before I was pregnant, if I was tired and I had a lot of work to do, I would just slam another coffee. I would slam another energy drink. And now if I get on the scale and I see the numbers up again, again, it's not that I go on another workout. It's not that I, conform a new diet to try. It's that I know that this is what my body is needing to do. And I ask myself, am I drinking enough water? Am I getting enough rest? Am I going on my walks? Am I moving my body with love? Am I listening to my body for the baby? Am I making sure to eat fruits and vegetables throughout the day to add life to my body for this little life inside me now? And that is all I need to focus on. That is all we need to focus on, showing up for our body to literally just house this beautiful human and be this new version of us, creating this new life. So, I love you guys so deeply. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you are a mama watching this, struggling with whatever your body is going through, know that your body is mother effing beautiful. Right now in this moment, it's doing exactly what it needs to do. Your body knows what it's doing. And all we have to do is love ourselves enough to show up for this experience, and also not try and dim ourselves down or shrink ourselves during this experience either. We get to feel it all, we get to show up for it all, and we get to love ourselves through it all.